Okay, thank you very much. It's an honor to be with Governor Phil Murphy, a wonderful state known as New Jersey. I spent a lot of time in New Jersey. It's a beautiful state. People don't realize how dense it is, right, Phil? They keep saying, I guess you're number 2, and I've even heard number 1, right?
I think we're number 1.
Nobody would think that about New Jersey, but it's a great place and a great state, and they have a wonderful man that's running it. He runs it with heart and with brains, and he's done a terrific job. We are together. We are working closely. I think somebody said we got you more ventilators maybe than any other state, which surprised me also.
Yep.
But you've used them well.
Thank you.
And your numbers are headed in the right direction. And I just want to thank the governor and his very capable people. The relationship's been a very good one. And we're working very hard with New Jersey. We're working hard with everybody, but we're working hard with this governor. He's one of the governors that's really done a job. He stepped up to the plate. And he has, and he swung, and he's just, you're going to see the results very soon. So with that, I'd like to ask Phil, perhaps you'd like to say a few words.
First of all, Mr. President, to you and your team, we're incredibly honored to be here. I thank you for the enormous help in our darkest hour of need. Ventilators, as you can see, PPE, testing sites. Now I think we're going to be in a very good place, thanks to you and your team, as it relates to expanding testing dramatically so that we'll be able to begin to take those steps to reopen. We've been crushed as a state, as you know. It's a state you know very well. We have 6,770 fatalities, but the curves, thank God, are beginning to show promise, and we're beginning to take some baby steps on that road to reopen. In fact, we've announced that as of this weekend, our state, county parks, golf, under certain protocols, as of Saturday morning, will be able to be open again, and that's a step on that road. And again, we couldn't be making the progress we're making without you and your administration. And so to you and to your incredibly talented team with a very heavy dose of New Jersey blood on your team, including yourself, who knows the state extremely well, we thank you for everything. And again, financially, that's another topic. Well, you know, we've been crushed, and I appreciate your consideration on the financial side going forward as well. So thank you for everything.
Thank you very much. And we have been helping other hospitals, and your hospitals have been really under stress, to put it mildly, right?
Amen.
You know, you have some hospitals where you don't have such a big COVID problem, and they do what they do. In fact, they really could do a lot more because they weren't allowed to use the elective. Correct. And by not having the elective, all of a sudden they had such a different situation from you.
No question.
Because you had to use it for COVID, and it was a tremendous strain.
You bet.
So we're going to work with you on that. We have been, but we're going to be working with you on that. I just want to thank you for the great job you've done.
Thank you, Mr. President. And likewise, thank you for your partnership and leadership on this. It's meant an enormous amount in our state.
Well, thank you very much. And, you know, I have to speak as president, but I also speak as somebody that is in New Jersey a lot. It's a great place. It's a beautiful state. People don't understand New Jersey quite, but it's a beautiful state, and it's great to have you as the governor.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you
Honored
very
to be
much.
with you, and this is a big deal for us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And by the way, he's a Democrat, so I'm getting myself in trouble, but that's okay. I have to tell the truth. He's something. So, any questions, Jim?
Mr. President, your economic advisor, Kevin Hassett, said this morning that the unemployment rate could be around 19%. Numbers we haven't seen since the Great Depression. What is your plan to get the country out of this ditch?
Well, I think we're going to have a great third quarter. It's going to be a transition. So when I say great, I think the transition is going to be really terrific, and we're going to take it into the fourth, and I think we're going to have potentially a great fourth quarter. There's tremendous pent-up demand. I don't know if Kevin said that or Larry Kudlow, but they see it, but I feel it. I think sometimes what I feel is better than what I think, unfortunately or fortunately, Phil. But I tell you what, I feel it, and I will say that I think next year is going to be a spectacular year in terms of growth, in terms of bringing our country back. I think we're going to have a really good year. We want to be where we were, and I think we can actually surpass where we were. And we were the strongest anywhere in the world. We were the best that we ever were, but we were the strongest anywhere in the world. But I view what we have now as obviously a period of, here we are. It is what it is. We just got hit by a vicious virus that should have never been allowed to escape China. They should have stopped it at the source. They didn't do that. 184 countries have been devastated by it, including China, by the way, because I looked at their numbers, and their numbers are terrible. And it's just a very tough situation for the people of our country. All the loss, the death, it's a terrible thing. But I think we're going to make a very strong comeback. It'll start with the third quarter. I think you're going to see some pretty good numbers. I think you're going to see really good transition numbers. But the fourth quarter is going to be, I really believe it's going to be terrific. And I think that next year is going to be a great year.
Is it fair for the voters to take into consideration your handling of the pandemic when they assess whether to re-elect you in the fall?
Sure, I think they do. I think they have to do a number of things. They do have to do that, and maybe Phil could speak to that because I think I've handled it. And not me. I think our whole group has been spectacular. We had ventilators. We didn't have any. We built them. We have thousands, tens of thousands are right now under construction. And we've given, as Phil said, you got, I think, more ventilators than anybody in the United States. New Jersey needed them very badly.
Yep.
And there was never a person that needed a ventilator that didn't get one in any state. Not one person that needed a ventilator. So we didn't say he didn't get a ventilator and somebody passed away, somebody didn't make it. Now we had a mask problem. Now we have so many masks, we don't know what to do with them. We had a big problem. And you have to understand, we took over, the cupboards were bare. And the thing that, frankly, it's not as tough as the ventilator situation. We're the king of ventilators, but what we have done is on testing, we're doing numbers the likes of which nobody's ever seen before. And I told you, the president of South Korea, President Moon, called me to congratulate me on testing. And we did more tests than any other country anywhere in the world. And I think they told me yesterday a number, if you add up the rest of the world, we've done more testing. And it's a higher quality test. So I think we've done I think the whole team, federal government, we built hospitals for you and others.
You bet.
We built medical centers, and I'm talking about thousands and thousands of beds, many, many medical centers. We had, as you know, we had the governor of Florida and the governor of Louisiana over the last 2 days. They could not have been, and one was a Democrat, and this gentleman happens to be a proud Democrat. They could not have been more supportive of the effort of the federal government. And I'll tell you, Jim, let me just tell you, we started off with empty cupboards. The last administration left us nothing. We started off with bad, broken tests and obsolete tests. What we've come up with between the Abbott laboratories, where you have the 5-minute, did they test you today?
They did test me.
Good. Now I feel better.
Yeah. I'm negative.
You did the 5-minute Abbott test.
The quick turnaround.
It's so great.
I feel like a new man.
That's a brand. You know what? That's a brand new test. That didn't exist 8 weeks ago, and now it's like the rage. Everybody wants that test. No, I think we've done a really great job.
But the Obama administration, people from the Obama administration would disagree on your assessment that the cupboards were bare. They said that there was equipment.
I know, Jim. Let me just tell you.
You say broken tests. It's a new virus, so how could the test be broken?
We had Jim, we had broken tests. We had tests that were obsolete. We had tests that didn't take care of people. But here's what's very important. If you take a look at the swine flu, H1N1, or as Joe Biden would say, N1H1, but it's actually wrong. He didn't even know the name. Okay, H1N1, the swine flu. The Obama administration was a disaster. And they did polling on how did they do. And their polls were so negative, so bad. They did a very poor job. And they did a poor job on a lot of things. They did a poor job on our military. They did a poor job on our ammunition. When I got here, we had no ammunition. Just like we had no ammunition, we had very little medical, too. So I think when you ask, how did we do? And I have to say it because the news is so fake and so corrupt. I think we did a spectacular job. I'm not even referring to me. I'm referring to all of these people, including your people who have been working with my people so closely. But the federal government has done a spectacular job to a point where we're building now. We're going to have thousands and thousands of ventilators, and we're helping other countries because Phil doesn't need ventilators. You needed them very badly at the beginning.
We did.
And maybe you could say something to Jim's question.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a view on the history, but I will say this. In our hour of need, whether it was ventilators, the Army Corps building out capacity, FEMA with our testing sites, and a big part of our ability to reopen as fast as we all want to is to rapidly expand testing.
Right.
And you all literally in the here and now this week are helping us in a big way to at least, I would expect by the end of May, thanks to you and your team's help, we'll be able to at least double, and I hope more than double, our testing capabilities. And because of that, that will allow us to much more aggressively and responsibly do the reopening that we all need to do.
And Phil, how do we do on ventilators as an example, where you were really, and you needed them badly?
Yeah, we got them. I mean, there's just no other way to put it. And I'm told that we were the #1 state recipient of ventilators. And this was, we were at the edge, and this is life or death stuff, and we got them, and we're forever thankful for that.